And I think at this point, Dr. Michael has already mentioned to you guys that the Philippines is kind of a very majority of Filipinos are Catholic, and is a it's a very religious country. So, and given that Christmas did originate from a Bible story, then you would I think it's understandable why a lot of Filipinos take a lot of time and preparation for this event. Okay, so let's start with the first fact that I'm going to share with you guys. And I think you already know this, but for Filipinos, Christmas begins in September. So many sources claim that Filipinos or the Philippines has the longest celebration of Christmas. Since arriving here at the US, what I observe is that Christmas preparation usually starts after Thanksgiving. But for Filipinos, it starts as early as September. So again, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, and a lot of enthusiasm that comes with the celebration of this holiday. So, what is the scene usually like? So, at the very first day of September, all right, usually people would start putting up Christmas decorations, and we would start hearing Christmas songs blasted all over the department stores, or we'd start hearing it at radio stations, or news outlets would usually start their countdown for Christmas. So usually that's what the scene looks like. And as you can see on the screen over here, do you guys recognize who this man is? So if not, this is Jose Marichan. All right. So he is he's a singer of one of the most yeah one of the classic songs, Christmas songs played by Filipinos. It's Christmas in Our Hearts. I don't know if you've heard about that. Probably you've heard about that already, since it is a very popular Christmas song. But yeah, as early as September, we begin hearing his songs everywhere. So it really is, yeah, Filipinos really get very excited with Christmas season. So that's the reason why we start our celebration very early and end it very late. And late. I'm going to talk about that more later on. So it would also be at this time that we start seeing houses being adorned with the Filipino Christmas lantern, which is the parol. Have you guys ever seen a parol before? Like a Christmas lantern? Probably some of you have already seen it. But do you guys have any idea what the parol symbolizes? Why it's such an image, a persistent image in when it comes to Christmas for Filipinos? Do you guys have any idea why? What's with the Christmas story? Any thoughts? Anyone? All right. I guess you guys are a bit shy to share your thoughts, but it's actually the oh, yeah. Anyone? Is there someone who would like to share their thoughts and ideas? Okay, yeah.
Is it like the star that showed, not like the nativity when Jesus was born?
Yes, yes, that's correct. Right, that's right. So, the symbol of the star actually symbolizes, as mentioned by your classmates, it's part of the nativity, the story of the birth of Jesus. So the star, it was actually what guided the three kings, to the place where Jesus was born. All right, so that's why it is such, a popular image when it comes to the celebration of Christmas in the Philippines. So how exactly do you make a parol? What does a parol look like? Well, it takes different designs. Some parols can be made with light materials such as bamboo. Uh, we also make it with like Japanese paper, they call it, or transparent paper. But some designs can also be more elaborate, and they can be made with wire or metal. And instead of paper, it would be designed using cappies or a shell, and it would take kind of like a mosaic design almost. So I'd like to share with you a few photos. I know some of my students are in here, but yeah, let me just share a few photos So for our class at Penn, we actually experienced creating the parole itself. Basically we just fastened some bamboo pieces or bamboo strips together, and then we covered the entire thing with some translucent paper, Japanese paper. It can be quite a difficult task to do, but decorating it is really the most exciting part. So yeah, on the right is a photo of me actually making my very first parol, which is strange being a Filipino, but yeah, I actually just made my first parol with the event of the Philippine Folkstar Society here in Philadelphia. So yeah, that's usually when you finish making your parol, you would hang it outside your house, and yeah, it's a very popular Christmas decor in the Philippines. I'd also like to share with you this photo. It is from what we consider the Christmas lantern capital of the Philippines, or the parol capital of the Philippines, which is the city of San Fernando in Pampanga. So it's usually during this time of year, or perhaps even earlier, that the city of San Fernando would have its parade or a festival where they show off these very beautifully made paroles, usually in giant versions of these paroles. But usually, if you would be driving down the roads of San Fernando, you would see this image. Yeah, pretty much the streets. Vendors would be hanging their paroles, and it would be a very beautiful sight because it's very colorful. So that's what it looks like. All right, so it is also during this time that children would start visiting houses to sing Christmas carols. So I know you guys already have an idea of what caroling is, but essentially in the Philippines, children would go out perhaps starting at 6 in the evening and visiting houses trying to sing carols in exchange for a few coins. So they would sing classic Christmas songs. And if you step outside and give them a few coins for all their singing, they would even sing a special thank you song, an expression of their gratitude because you gave them some, yeah, you gave them some money. But unfortunately, in more recent years, this practice isn't as yeah, it's not done as it's not done as much as it used to be. As I remember, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Sir Micah, but I think some laws have been put into place around caroling by children in the Philippines, mainly because of concerns for safety. And I don't know if the tradition is still alive that or practiced as much in the Philippines, but the last Christmas I spent, I still had some carolers come to our house and sing us Christmas songs. So that's great. Okay. All right. 9 days before Christmas, Filipinos begin attending a series of dawn masses called Simbang Gabi. All right. So this is usually a novena, no? And there are sources online, they're conflicting. They're giving conflicting information because some would refer to this 9 day mass, a series of masses, as Misa de Gallo. Some sources would claim that Misa de Gallo is like the last, or yeah, the last of the 9 day 9 days of the masses, the one that you have on the 24th of December. But yeah, essentially Filipinos would go on these series of masses, and usually it would start at literally 4 in the morning, so that's extremely early. And the concept is it starts before sunrise. And there's this superstitious belief that if you complete all the 9 masses leading up to Christmas Eve, you get to you get to have a wish. You have your wish granted. So yeah, that's one of the traditions that we Filipinos practice, especially those who are practicing Catholics. They would attend this simbang gabi. And after the mass, you'll be greeted by vendors trying to sell you Pinoy Christmas delicacies. So it would be quite it's an interesting scene when you step out of the church, because like the smell of all this delicious food would welcome you. And I don't know if you've heard of these dishes before, but what you can see on screen, this over here is the puto bumbong, and on top is the bibingka. I'm not sure if you guys have tried it. Okay, okay. Some of the people in the comment section are saying that some of them have tried it, some have not yet. But essentially, these two dishes are made with rice. Okay, so again, making it very clear how rice is such, a primary commodity in the Philippines. Filipinos eat rice all the time, right? So these dishes usually you'd see a lot of or get to try after you attend the Simbang Gabi. Okay. And on Christmas Eve, the Filipino family would gather at the comedor or the dining room for the celebration of Noche Buena. So I think at this point, Prof. Mike has also shared with you guys that Filipino families tend to be very big. So it would be not only the children or the parents, but you'd also get to invite the grandparents, the aunts and the uncles, the titos and the titas, the cousins, the pinsans, and yeah, essentially all the relatives to gather at this one house to share Noche Buena. So I'm not sure if you guys have ever experienced Noche Buena before, but this is usually what the dining table would look like. So we'd have lechon, hamon, what else? We'd have pancit, leche flan, queso de bola, and of course the cult classic lumpiang Shanghai. And I'm sure you guys have already heard of this before. Yeah. So usually Noche Buena would be celebrated after the family has attended the very last of the 9 day of the nine masses, and at least with my experience, my family would have it at 10 o'clock, and then we'd wait for midnight, and then our churches would start ringing the bell, signaling that it is actually Christmas Day. Okay. And on Christmas morning, so this is the 25th, okay? On Christmas morning, children, sometimes not only children, would usually visit their ninongs and ninangs to ask for papasko. All right. So, as you can see here on the screen, this is ang pao, but usually this is what ninongs and ninangs would use to put some bills to give away to their mga inaanak, ano, to their godchildren, or even to, yeah, to relatives, to younger relatives, so yeah, I remember my experience when I was younger. I would remember this time of the year to be when I would feel like I'm the richest person in the world, because my ninongs and my ninangs would be giving me all this money, and I would be receiving them all in this ampao. And yeah, it's just a yeah, it's very fun time. It was a very fun time for me as a child, because I get to have a lot of money in the on Christmas Day. But not only that, and I don't want you guys to think that it's all about the money on Christmas Day, but it's also when people who don't get to join you in the actual Noche Buena, yeah, friends would often visit you in your house and share what food you have left from the Noche Buena. And yeah, it's just a continuation of the celebration where people just come together and bond essentially. So when does this season end? So the Christmas season in the Philippines finally wraps up in January with the Feast of the Three Kings. So imagine that we start celebrating Christmas in the Philippines in September and we end in January. So that's how long this Christmas season goes for us Filipinos. So I'm not very sure on the exact date of the Feast of the Three Kings. I believe it's at January 12th, but I'm not exactly sure about that. But yeah, this is usually this feast day would signal the official end of the Christmas season. So in conclusion, and I always tell this to my students back at Penn, that Filipino culture, and then this applies as well to the celebration of Christmas in the Philippines. It's all about three things. It's about faith, family, and food. At this point, I think you understand why faith is in the picture, because again, the celebration of Christmas did come, it did start with the Bible story, and it's a time where family comes together, and usually the glue that holds them together is food. So it's just a very festive time, where Filipinos not only get to celebrate their spirituality, but also, yeah, the concept of family and togetherness. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on the presentation. I'll also like you guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them as well, or if you have experiences with Paskong Pinoy that you would like to share with class or with the rest of the audience, I'd like to hear those. But all in all, that's Paskong Pinoy for all of you, and thank you very much for listening to my presentation.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Nina. I can see here in the chat box that our participants are very engaged.
Yes, I kept noticing them, Dr. Michael, all throughout the presentation.
Very good presentation, indeed. It's very interesting. And on the end of the students from Gonzaga University, I would say that most of them may have a different culture when it comes to the celebration of the Paskong Pinoy, but maybe I can hear someone or another person from the group who would like to share about your experience of Paskong Pinoy. How do you celebrate your Christmas being in a Filipino family? Lawson, say something?
We always eat pancit for like long life, like the noodles.
Yeah. So they always eat pancit, but I'm not sure though in the Philippine culture, Ma'am Nina, correct me if I'm wrong. Pancit is best eaten in New Year.
Yes,
Right?
yes, I would agree with that, Sir Michael. Usually, yeah, we would have it at the New Year's, and for the same reason, because it signifies long life. But yeah, I could totally see why it would. Yeah, but pancit in general is like a Filipino classic dish, So I think it's pretty understandable why some Filipino families would still serve it at Christmas.
Yeah, you have a question?
Oh, I was gonna add, my Lola taught my mom that we green, like colored greens and black eyed peas on beers for longevity.
Yeah. Heard that, Ma'am Nina?
I'm sorry, I wasn't able to. I was only able to hear something being painted green. What is it? I'm sorry, I wasn't.
It's something green.
Yeah.
Yeah. On in New Year for long life as well. Yeah. I think that makes
Oh, all
sense.
right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Symbolizes
So
for
essentially, green symbolizing long life. Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah.
something new for us also, right? It's not that it's one thing that we don't usually practice in the Philippines, but we'll consider that one. It's a nice practice, though. You have any questions, or maybe our online participants also? Yeah, it's spaghetti Filipino style, alternative for pancit, right?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Sweet style Filipino spaghetti.
Do you have any questions from our students from Gonzaga?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just want to say hi to your students, Ma'am Nina.
Yeah. Wow, they get to meet students from Gonzaga University and the University of Pennsylvania.
Do you students meet UPenn students?
Mm.
Unfortunately, they're not turning their videos on so they can say hi also to my students.
Oh, yeah, perhaps some of my students from Penn were here, or some, even those who are not from my class naman. Some of you could perhaps open your mic, turn on your mic, or open your cameras to say hi to our folks from Gonzaga University.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have participants from the Philippines from Nina.
I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I'm some of the people in the audience I think are from the Penn Philippine Society, but I'm not sure if there are some who are actually from the Philippines. But if there are any, can you guys, yeah? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, I see. California.
Oh, nice.
and Canada.
Welcome to GU, everyone. Hello, you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, do you have any other questions to our speaker, Mamina? Maybe there's something that you'd like to clarify about, like especially certain cultural practices that your family or your parents might have been observing over time, and you can't seem to understand why they're doing things like this at your home during Christmas. Maybe it's the best time to ask our speaker, Mamina, for some clarifications. Everything's clear so far? Interesting? Fascinating? Okay, Mamina, I don't think they have questions. Yeah. Once again, let's give Mamina a round of virtual applause, please. Thank you very much.
You should do the little clapping reaction on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there.
Yay! Thank you so much, everyone. It's such
Yeah.
a pleasure meeting all of you,
Yeah,
and of course,
before,
thank you.
Mamina, before we can have a picture taking first for the rest of the participants. Online participants here, if you can turn your video on. Yeah, and then we'll have the. I'll stop the screen sharing, Mamina, so that I
Yay!
can.
Oh, really?
Hi, Patricia.
The students are really friendly.
Patricia is from Penn. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That one.
First, you have a choice.
Okay. Maybe I'll ask all my participants here to come forward, and then the TV being at the background. I'll have a picture first with Ma'am Nina, our speaker, and then afterwards we'll have the virtual participants join us in the picture. Okay? Yeah, you can just stand here, and then that one being the background. We'll have Ma'am Nina as the there.
Yay. Hi. Hi, everyone.
Okay.
Nasaan?
Find your position, guys, everyone.
Chili's.
Oh,
Where's Leah going? We're down here.
Make sure everyone's seen on this. Okay, everyone, 1, 2, 3, smile. Can someone? Okay, I'm doing myself. For one, and I'll put it in gallery view so that the other participants can join us. Participants online, if you can turn your video on, that would be great. Okay, there.
Oh my gosh, they're doing it.
Yay.
Once again, let's give Ma'am Nina a round of virtual applause, guys. Thank you so much, Ma'am Nina, and to all our participants, virtual participants, thank you very much for joining us. Ma'am Nina, we're so happy to have you here at GU, although virtually. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well, Dr. Michael, and to you all you guys at GU. Nice to meet you all. And to the others who also joined, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat.
Bye-bye to Ma'am Nina now.
Bye.
Bye, Ma'am Nina.
Bye!
Oh.
That is so cute.
Bye.